to think about. But playing that into the LeBlanc is definitely going to be tough. I wonder if they have something more fun prepared. And if it's ever a time to pick out something fun, it's now. But as the timer ticks down,
just play Cassidy.
Starting to get worried. That is...
Yes! Oh my God, it's Nefiri! Okay. When in doubt.
What are you saying now? Huh? Atlas?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Nefiri. That's what I'm going to say. That is the first time that we've seen it. Yep, this is a champion not designed for pro play. That is going to be a Varus lock-in here for Samva. And so many of our mid laners do have cheeky Nefiri games. They just often play... I basically I've never played this champion. It's never been relevant, really. It's having a bit of a giggle here is Fisher. What's the reaction from Fate? With a lot of single target could be a problem when there is going to be a bunch of dogs in the mid lane. But let's see what happens. We jump into the Rift. W and E just seem to be the same ability.
Kind of, yeah,
in a lot of ways. And then her ult is you get a shield and you do stuff. As we're fighting, Sylvie is in so much trouble. Is going to be able to get the heal back from smiting the camp there. As Youngjae, unfortunately, not able to lock that one down. 2 apiece, though, when it comes to sharing out the popcorns. As Sylvie does slink back towards his side of the jungle. We'll be starting off on the Wolves. And by that, I mean he's not. He is just going to queue it and then walk over to his red side and continue over there. So
Icon, the Fury's bleed.
Yep.
Want to highlight, so really interesting, Brion actually reading the lane swap well, then having enough people at the ready, and then
roaming around and killing people.
Yeah,
is it like I just like that you get to play as a jungle camp. As the chain is going to connect and Fisher has to flash.
Actually, a really good example of what I was saying earlier. I didn't expect it to be disfavored for Mr. Fate, though, is that when the Fury starts channeling her W, like, you know what's going to happen. You know the timing, you know when she's going to go in. So you can actually use that to guarantee that you land skill shots.
I think that he is probably going to try and not be in a lane with anyone if he can possibly help it, as Mihail forced to flash towards the top side of the map. Sylvie, though, going to make use of the time by taking at least one of these grubs. Fisher moving on over as Polu gets on in here. That is going to be a crash down employed. And so much damage onto Sylvie. Does have to flash away, but Fate easily follows up. And now Fisher and Vital. Oh God, Fisher is going nuts. He's able to get 2 here as Polu is trying to run away. All the doggos come out and it's a double, make it a triple. And I think Fisher's back in the game.
Who let the dogs out, Atlas? Quality champion.
Not really.
Probably still not going to be feeling the greatest, as Polo's going to have his back interrupted. And him and Samba are having a pretty decent time towards that bottom side. As you can see, Samba actually had him farm by just a little bit. There's the Mimic Distortion, but in goes Fisher. Headbutt pole going to connect onto Fate as well, but Fisher not wanting to go too close to the turret. Biting off more than he can chew there, but Vital is doing a great job making sure that he's in the right place at the right time. Fisher will be able to get another wave to crash. And Fisher not quite going to be walking into it right now, as doesn't quite find that cue. And all that one. As now Fate thinking about an opportunity to dash in. The Electrocute really just does a lot more than it used to. It catches me by surprise almost every time. Just feels like it shouldn't make your opponent explode. Quite like that. Sides. 2-1 is the score so far, as Sylvie going to be a little bit late getting on over here.
Do know.
Reward goes down.
Mihail does have his teleport available, so Nongshim, okay, Nongshim can basically choose, do we want to TP him in or do we just want to have him shove that bot wave out? Ideally, they'd shove out and then TP, but that might be a little bit too late. Ideally, you want to deny a 4th stack as Sylvie stacking the passive.
Yeah, Fate getting dashed on there, but does get to go back to his distortion. Jiwoo taking a little bit of damage as the bros, I think, looking for a disengage. Wallop comes down, double flashes do come on through as they get put to sleep. Mihail going all out though, and now Polu, can you actually hold them at bay? As it's 2 on the floor already. Fisher going to be going down low though, and that is a shutdown. Picked up for Youngjae. Nongshim, they do get the 4 out of 6. On the grubs, that is good news, but that shutdown gold for a Viego is dangerous.
They could have done one of 2 things, and instead tried to do both, which wasn't the best, I have to admit. But
wait, So you're saying that instead of doing one of two things, they did two of two things?
No,
that sounds way better.
No, they still kind of
over the wall, having the ult activated, getting the shield resets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Could have been a little bit of a better option. As you can see, the Merkwolves have made their way out into the river now. As Fate dashing in one more time. Chain's not going to connect there as Polo could be in trouble. Headbutt Pole does come down. He's going to try and crash his way out of it, but in goes Fisher once again. Magnet Storm coming on through as Fate not able to offer anything back there. And he does indeed have to flash over. Fisher now landing another Q here as the bowling ball doesn't connect. And look at these Wolves. They're getting very, very upset. Fisher, once again, with that ult on cooldown, but it's not on cooldown for all that long. You can see now with Brutalizer picked up as well as those Merc Treads. It's feeling like Fisher is getting more and more dangerous in this game. We'll be able to get some spare time with this outer turret on the top side of the map as well as Youngjae, with all of that gold, has built his Trinity Force. This is a very scary Viego. It looks like Fisher is just going to be able to get out of here just fine. Concerned right now, he's got an item, and Fate does not quite have one built up just yet. Also, doesn't have a whole bunch of health bar here. Is looking to try and distort away. There's the Mimic as well, as goes back to the first distortion, but there's a whole bunch of bad guys, and he is going to explode. So's Jiwoo, though. My goodness, the bros finding an angle here. As Nefiri going aggressive, these puppies getting annoying. As you can see, Youngjae just going to heartbreak at the wrong direction. Not going to be able to contest this Herald, and that is going to go over to Nongshim.
Gold utilize that.
Should be an opportunity as Youngjae moving on down. Charging up that stun. Chains are going to connect there, and oh dear. Sylvie in a fair bit of trouble, but they do get the teleport out from Mihail, and my God, the explosion of damage here from Fisher. Press W, and everything is just fine.
Oh, and we talked before about the Lilia ult when combined with an Amethyl, right? Because it doesn't actually cancel because it's damage over. The same for the bleed. I think for Nefiri there, you saw that the sleep on Fate didn't actually get cancelled.
Yep.
Till it was already too late.
Damage over time is not going to interrupt it, so it works out very, very nicely. Bro going to be able to take an outer turret in the mid lane against kind of the flow of play, but that's because Fisher is alone in the bottom lane with a Rift Herald, and maybe this inner turret is also going to fall because there's no one making their way over outside of Fate just coming out of the Death Chamber. And Fisher, with a bit of spare time, I think should be able to just take this one down. And yeah, looks like Fate not going to be able to get here in order to stop this whatsoever. There it is, 700 gold over to the Fury.
Polo.
Yeah, Polo, I'm not sure if he's in a very good position right now. Mihail actually really smart, going to be taking away the Mega Cone. And that is going to mean Jiwoo can rotate around and pick up a freebie. That is going to be Polo falling down. The bros kind of just falling apart here.
Yeah, but you know, as casters, we always like, particularly the color casters, right? We like to pretend we know everything. And then when a champion like...
Although is still up against Mihail, so he's kind of doing fine. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, Samba just kind of caught out, trying to go back to the rest of his teammates. It's a decent flash, but yeah, like you were saying, just not quite enough.
This is where my boy Mihail just counter-picking himself actually ends up working out.
Yeah. All right. Fate is going to be able to get over the wall before having a nap. Watch out. Eep is not going to hit.
Punish Fisher if he goes in too aggressively. There is still an angle. But Viego and LeBlanc, when you're playing on the back foot, really lose a lot. It makes them good as...
That's a Magnet Storm, guys.
He didn't even need to flash. That's not ideal.
The value is actually absurd.
That's nice for Sylvie and Mihail as well.
Yep.
It's fine.
It wouldn't be bad if Polo got it, you know, and get that bit of a shield.
Yeah, could be good.
Morgan builds his Sterix, you know. There you go. There's the value. All right, Banana Brush being fought over here as the bowling balls going a little bit wide. Looks like Rift Scuttler will be taken here by Nongshim, though. And the Baron's been up for 2 minutes. There's a little bit of a consideration as both teams just trying to make sure that they have the vision where they can find it. Fate going to be denied a back.
And then there's also just Alistair, who is very strong appealing. And then the enemy AD carry is an Ezreal.
Yeah, and Cassante can just press R on you, and then you're not in there doing damage.
It's not even build. Look at the disrespect.
Yeah.
Atlas Mihail's just building full armor.
Well, that just means that it's Vital's job to deal with the LeBlanc, as Nongshim going to be grabbing this second Chemtech Drake. And it looks like there's not going to be any response to it, just happily clearing out minions in the mid lane. And Bro, looking a little paralyzed, looking a little bit confused. Considerable fashion.
And unfortunately, Nongshim have been able to get their dogs in a row. With Fisher continuously applying this pressure inside now. Mid turret being sieged.
Ooh, that is a Shattering Strike, not really finding the mark, and this turret will just fall.
Sitting at 230 here, whereas Fisher is sitting a lot lower. Still okay in terms of items, but once that third item comes through for Fisher, it's going to be really tough. And you see as well, Fate, I think they're going to have a tough time to try and fight for priority. Imagine Fisher is just going to show up, shove this in, and then maybe they'll look for a collapse. I think Nongshim have the Baron on their mind, Atlas.
Yeah, thinking about it, Fisher looking for an opportunity over the wall here. As we can see, the pack has regrouped. And he's now looking for a way in. Not going to find that Q right there. As you can see, Morgan not with a whole lot of Narbar right now. Going to be throwing some boomerangs around. With his newly created Black Cleaver, though, Vital is forced to ult very early in this one. A possible opportunity. They're still going to chase him down. And now Sylvie looking to try and get on in there. Young Jay will be able to finish off the cow as Fisher wanting to kill Fate, who is incredibly low and is still going to be able to survive. Polu may not be so lucky as Mihail looking for an all-out angle. That wallop was phenomenally placed. And they are playing right on the edge here, the bros. Morgan hops his way out. Mihail tries to go all out. But unfortunately, it's Samba that locks him up. The Nefarious destroyed his Fate, teleports back in to save the team fight for the bros. Oh, ward goes down, teleport immediately back in here. As Morgan says, you obey your lord, you put down that 75 gold worth of value here. As there's the Samba is just dead, but Jiwoo is going to have to sacrifice himself for that one, and that is another kill going over to Fate. That is 2 now to his name, and this LeBlanc is starting to get online.
That is a lot of Baron damage gone, though, and these health bars aren't super high. I think we're going to see Nongshim at least try. Fisher, 10 seconds. Yeah. TP's available, so they really just want to stall, but no ultimate available for Vital. Yeah. They're buying a lot of time, though.
Young Jay will be able to take him down.
Yeah, they got
out of the pit. So they do buy enough time.
The bros back. And Jiwoo, as Ezreal, you can feel so insanely safe, but you don't have flash. And Polu, I think a lot of his engages this game have not really been it, but that one might end up
luring them into a false sense of security. Baron, an opportunity now for Bro, as they may give up Soul Point, but who cares? It's a Chemtech Soul. As Bro will be taking this one down. Fisher, can he actually threaten the base or something like that? It looks like that's not going to be the option, as Bro tear through this Baron very, very quickly. It's on hit Varus. They're not too worried. And now the Bros just have full control. Throw away a Magnet Storm so you can win the game with it later on. It's all about investment, and it's beautiful. Just like right here. He might just be straight up dead. By might, I mean I guarantee he gets the lilting lullaby, and he's dead. So he's like, I'll mark down that cooldown, baby.
No, but you know now that the next time they see him, they're going to go in on him again. So Polo stakes are kind of whatever.
No, I'm good with like chicken breast or like eggplant. I don't need steak. Especially not every day. We've had plenty of steaks this week. Just not required.
Yeah, no, that's...
As Morgan's coming on over. And, is Fate just going to be able to kill him? That's the question. Almost. That's down to 100, or 93.
There is a bit of a problem here, but looks like they are going to be able to get the backs in.
There's a pack of mid lane moving into the bottom side of the map.
That's actually my favorite part about living in Korea, is the mountains.
Yep, the fact that it does go somewhat vertical. As all right,
that's Mininar.
Could be in trouble. The ulti's being pressed, an explosion of damage.
That's what I was referring to at the beginning of the game with Nefarian side lane.
Yeah.
When you're Mega Nar, that's, you're fine. When you're Mininar, not so much. And your mobility doesn't really mean that much because she's going to be able to jump on you with the W and then follow with the E, even if you try the hippity hop away. And
good old double dash is pretty powerful.
Side laning. I mean, you've told me double dash isn't very good, but I beg to differ.
I mean, you can still do it. I just don't think that it's the best Mario Kart, okay? That's all I said.
Objectively, I am wrong. We have very straightforward here. Gets the ultimate in. And
look at that expression. But you're right. I mean, we're getting really to the base end of it. It's all right. There's a little bit of a stun on Mihail, but he's happy to tank it up. Magnet Storm connecting onto a few here from Polu. But where is the follow-up? Where is the angle? And Fisher, the call of the pack comes in, and look at the Varus explode. Fate gonna go down as well, and Fisher, yeah, if he can press W on you, I think at this point you're just dead. And Nongshim After losing a couple of team fights in a row, they decided, we're not doing that again.
And this is what Neferi looks like in solo queue. Generally in pro, you don't really get this experience as Vital, trying to make sure that Morgan can't TP or back so that the rest of his team can end.
Oh, that was a cute one there from Morgan, but I think he's still going to have to watch from the enemy jungle as Vital headlock. Oh no, the interruption, too powerful. And these Nexus turrets will go down. Neferi, for the first time, will be picking up a victory here in the LCK in the final day of 2024 summer.
Just ban it.
Like, you have to, just based on the respect.
Yes.
That's deserved. Look at this. We did actually, like, it is very, it's hilly terrain here, as we can see the Nongshim hill coming back with a vengeance towards the end of this game. Why hump? Oh my God, are we doing it? Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Don't be scared.
No, it's not.
Oh no, come on. It's the last one. Oh man.
It's fine. It's a game free hull for Atlas. We'll get it in game free.
Well, Viego has been only losing so far this series. And so that might be a good sign. And this is also, to go back to my previous point,
I hope so.
You don't need to. It's happening. We have decided. Let's jump into the rift for game number 2.
I had a wonderful time.
Yep.
Did cost me an extra year in high school for a Lucian in this instance, because you are so much better at the at supplying very high upfront burst, but you do struggle in the longer trades. As no smite available for Youngjae, do they want to try and?
I don't think they're going to quite get here in time.
Yeah, might be a double scuttle angle here. Sylvie falling behind a little bit as Youngjae crosses over, but there's also not that much prio towards the top side of the map.
Ooh, Samba going to get stunned up here as Jiru does land the bouncing bomb. Nice little satchel there, but
ooh, that's
going to be able to do too much. They're just
rough.
going to zone him away just to make sure. Like, bro did invest a fair bit as there's a flash hook. All right, Polu, I see you, as Fisher is going to get ardently blazed to death.
Got to flash that initial hook. Fisher thought he could tough it out. Not the case.
And so Fisher just going to have to hang back. Isn't behind by too much, but you can see Youngjae, he is ahead by a massive amount. It's the Lilia's abusing Viego happening once again, this time on the other side of the rift, as Sylvie was considering going for a dragon, but it looks like he's not going to be able to get enough free time.
Jonas Strong is so mean. Like, the fact that he's able to clock that Youngjae misses the timing on the W there.
Yeah.
Which doesn't matter. It's a little burn on the Dragon here. Are we going to get a 4v4?
Oh God, the culling is going to soften up Vital and Sylvie quite a lot as we begin this. Youngjae just going to move on down. He's taken all of the grubs and now he's looking for the Dragon as well. And Nongshim looking a little paralyzed at this point in time as the rockets are coming on in. There's the hook onto Polo. He's going to take a fair bit of damage. As Vital flashes away, they take down the Nautilus. And so that is going to be an evening out of the kills. It looks like Bro still going to be able to grab themselves the Drake. But Jiwoo looking for another angle here as Fisher may have them exactly where he wants them. 1 versus 3 though for the Corki, not something that he really wants. Quite a few times. I feel like it's sort of like the accepted answer or something like that that people have gone for.
It feels
I'm not
what that was going to be.
All right, hookshot does come in. As Morgan looking for an angle here. Hextech Ultimatum might be enough, or he might just be dead, and he is.
Yeah, we are not playing for grubs, Atlas. We are looking to dive Samver here.
Yeah, I think they're wanting to make sure that Samver is not going to have very much fun playing archery here in this bottom lane in this game.
Oh, maybe Morgan can TP, but even that's hard. I think Samver's just dead.
Yep, I think they're just going to give him up. Make sure that they maximize the amount of grubs that they can pick up. And there it is. Sylvie very comfortably tanks that last turret shot.
It's happening? We're doing it?
All right, yeah, there is another flash to come out. This time it's Mihail that has to use it. Hextech Ultimatum coming in. Let's see whether Morgan did give enough time to Youngjae this time, and he absolutely did. Puts him to sleep, and there's the kill going over to the Camille. That's what it was supposed to look like. And you did mention that plates do go over to Jiwoo. And so he's at least able to do that. As now the Blast Cone going to be used in Brendan Valdez's favorite way to get Fisher out of trouble.
That's good.
Yeah, he is going for the build as there's the knock-up. Fisher is going to have to flash and does so. Will be able to clear out a lot of this wave. But you can see that there are Void Mites here, and that is a Corgi lying on the floor. So it's not the best for a Ziggs composition to have this many, but it is still not too bad. As Fate going to get a bit of a shove in here on this top side of the map. 6 Grub's going to be really helping out here, as I don't think the Mega Inferno Bomb is going to be enough to take this down, and Fate just tanks it. No fear. All right, Rift Herald. Going to be getting impatient pretty soon, and there goes Shelly. And Samba could be in trouble, but is going to be saved by Polo's hook zoning them away.
Big teamfight ultimate they're missing us.
Oh, Vital! Just
Jungle Rel is back.
Youngjae here as he tries to crash his way out of here. But look at this, like the Swift Rift, man. It is allowing Youngjae to get these Qs in exactly the positions that he wants it. As Arrow going to be flashed out of the way off here by Jiwoo. Bouncing bombs coming on through, but I don't think Vital's surviving this one. That's Samba locking down the kill. And that should be Rift Herald going over to Bro as well. And Youngjae able to grab almost anything that he wants right now on this map. It's the Lilia that's the biggest problem that Nongshim needs to find a way to deal with.
So far, don't get me wrong, like Polo's hooks have been good. They find target, kill target. But if anyone missteps, they do just get blown up very quickly by Nongshim's burst. And against the Viego, that can backfire a little bit.
Really can. Rift Herald going to come down here in this mid lane. And I agree with you. I think that there is a fair bit of finesse, but what it requires could be a worry for some of our Bro fans, because what it's going to need is an overabundance of Bro activity to really get this one working the way they want it to, as Fate taking a bit of incidental damage here as Fisher does teleport back into the mid lane. Looks like a battle for this Cloud Drake, the pivotal first Cloud Drake of the game, as Morgan's found the backline. The arrow is going to sail by as Mega Inferno Bomb does a whole lot of work. Sylvie baits Morgan in, but Morgan's going to be able to pick up a double in the interim. Youngjae now trying to dance his way around, but Fisher is going to point, click, and destroy. As this Corgi is so incredibly scary. The flash from Fate. Can he get a double tap? The answer's no. And it's a triple for Fisher. Yep, that's going to be the first Cloud Drake of the game. Likely being picked up here by Nongshim. They're keeping Bro at bay very effectively. And this Corki, after those 3 kills, now has the Trinity Force done and very, very close towards that first big 2-item spike. As Nongshim now playing with a 1.3k gold lead, but Bro looking to try and answer that as Mihail possibly in trouble. There is a turret still up here, but Hextech Ultimatum's going to mean that Mihail's not really going to be getting out of here. And yeah, that's the kitchen sink landing on a Mini-Gnar, and he is not going to survive that.
Remains Mihail's biggest difficulty. Every team fight, I think, if he's playing his champions, I'm like, man, good angle, Mihail. And then he just dies in side lane immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
It's a very consistent thing. Damage to quickly burst him out. Because right here, level up, has the Mega Gnar available. Actually really like his reluctance to ult initially, because he knows Morgan will just use the ultimate.
Yep.
So plays that slow, and then as we see, very straightforward. Gio gets hit by an arrow and dies. Not really a whole lot more to that play. But then the decision for Nongshim to actually go in on Polo, who I do think, to be fair, does obviously make a mistake, goes for that hook, really shouldn't have. Ends up just barely dying to the ignite. Is that worth it? I'd say so. Yeah, flash shot.
As they do get full information as to what's happening, Bowling Ball going to connect as Fisher's big one's really hurting here. Heading towards his rapid fire cannons. That sidestep! Woo! Oh man, Fisher is having a day today. Gets his Nefiri game and he's like, I'm gonna use that energy and put it into my Corki play. Just ignore all the times that he's died this game. Looking pretty good, doing a lot of damage, and that is going to keep them alive. Sidesteps on the Bowling Ball, very nice as well.
Yeah, as mentioned, his round 2 has genuinely been good. I think that Fisher was really, really lackluster initially. When he came in as...
Oh god, Mega Inferno Bomb comes down. Samba is almost just dead at the start of this fight. Another great ulti to come on through as Vital will take a little bit of a nap alongside Mihail. But the flash forward from Sylvie, I'm not sure about that one. Still, they're going to be able to now move towards the river, and Nongshim, they just grabbed themselves a kill onto Morgan. Now they're looking for more.
Yeah, Sylvie tried to get the extension on the hook shot, like the hook shot extension, because you're hook shotting towards someone with the flash, but it doesn't really work. It doesn't matter though, because they'll get Nash.
Yeah. And Polo not going to be able to make his way in. Of course, Jiwoo very, very good at just keeping them out of the area. The satchel already in place. That's the Baron going down. And even if Vital is going to have to sacrifice himself it does not really matter. Youngjae gonna get slowed down by the minefield. As, yeah, not even willing to face check this tri-brush. Decent sidestep there. I think Vital is still going to be dead. As Youngjae gonna have to go golden, and Vital's still alive, guys! Arrow is going to sail by and not do anything of note. Samba might be able to do a bit of a dent. I'll let him say it. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe there are some other things that he wants adjusted, but that's going to be Ziggs taking down a turret in the mid lane. This is a Ziggs with Baron. This is a really rough time. Speaking of rough times, oh god, Fisher does so much damage. Doesn't even have the rapid fire cannon completed just yet. I thought that might have been a rapid fire hit, but no, it is just a Trinity Force hit. That is only going to get worse, ladies and gentlemen, as Nongshim pushing ever forward. Jiwoo with that satchel in place. They don't need to do that much to this turret, and it will just be going down. Vital comes on in. There's the flash out from Jiwoo as the Magnus Storm onto Polu. He takes so much damage, but that is the Corki wiped out at the very start of the fight. Mihail needing to get in here if they want to be able to take this one down, and there goes the turret. And so even though they do lose Fisher, they are still going to be able to get so much money from this. Absolutely
cool.
Based.
Very, very brazen from the bros.
And I think that, you know, they see that Neferi pick come in, they're like, Nongshim?
Oh no.
Man, you are ready to tango.
No, they don't know about Vital. They don't know! Oh, I guess Vital didn't want any of it.
Well, I mean, they kind of just wanted to take the last remaining inhibitor turret, as an arrow is going to sail on through. Great sidesteps there from Fisher and Jiwoo. And yeah, now the culling is coming in. The bros are coming from the other side as we have the circle of mist down here for Sylvie. In goes Morgan into the back line, but he's out again instantly. Fate diving forward, but it's a 1-for-1 trade of mid laners, and Jiwoo's still alive. It is going to be Polo able to finish him off, but now Mihail, he's going to be the carry. And Samba, let's see what he can do up against this Nars. It's a triple kill for this massive Viego. Mihail going to be able to help wipe the floor with Samba, but it's now only Morgan against two here. And Nongshim, they don't like those odds, I guess, because Morgan is still pretty scary, especially when Mihail has barely a health bar.
Yeah, our observers are trying to show us, and they are doing so very successfully. What do? You know Baron is being taken, but you don't have vision as, oh, the Hail Mary, level 16 can be...
Yeah, you just got to get proactive, Chronicler. That's what you've got to do, as Mihail is going to jump on top of Morgan.
The bolt wave.
Yeah, Vital is now, look at him. He's corralling. That is going to be a lot of damage. The shield fully removed here is Youngjae going to go golden. Trying to buy some time, some space, but it does not work. Magnus Storm under 2 from Vital, and it's a triple instantly for Fisher, who is now just Valkyrieing forward. That's going to be the quadra kill, and Morgan might be able to give him the penta as the teleport's coming in. I don't know whether you want this 1v1 though, Fisher. This is a little bit dangerous. It is a Camille after all, as he might get brought down to his GA. That would be set up for the pentakill. As Morgan, are you going to give it to him? Are you a benevolent god? The answer is perhaps yes, as now they are... Oh, Jiwoo, really? In your last game as Fisher, yes, an understandable int into the fountain there as the Nexus goes down. Nongshim, 2-0 bro here in the last day of the regular season. You are sick, Jiwoo. What is wrong with you?
What a mean man.
All right, and Jiwoo does do almost 40,000 damage in a 33-minute game, so the Ziggs definitely was very powerful. I think...
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jisoo for the post-match interview translation. First off, we are joined by the entire Nongshim players as they finish their summer regular season. First off, let's hear from Mihail, Sylvie, Fisher, Calix, Stu, and Vital. Congratulations, everyone. Firstly, Mihail, how do you feel about winning your final match of the regular season? You even won a POG on Nar in Game 2. I won POG on Nar in Game 2, but it was not just me performing well today. I think everyone was able to step up and display a great performance, so it makes me feel really happy. I think you had a very solid performance throughout the season. What kind of aspect do you feel you have grown personally?
부분도 있지만 솔직히 뭔가 좀 이번 시즌
I mean, I can't say myself also
그렇게 뭔가
improved,
좀
but
기대하는
overall, looking back at
만큼의
the season,
경기력을
we were not
보여주지
able
못한 것 같아서
to
저쪽에서
kind of pull off
좀
the
그 부분이 좀
performance that we
아쉬운 것 같습니다.
wanted. So it's a big bummer.
이런 말씀해 주셨는데 앞으로가 더 기대되는 미하일 선수가 아닐까 싶습니다. 앞으로의
I
각오
also
말씀
want to know your
들려주시죠.
thoughts on your future. What are your
일단
resolutions
저희
moving
서머
forward as a
오늘로
professional
끝나지만
player?
저희는 계속
Well, the
발전하는
summer
모습
season has
보여드릴
come to an
테니까
end, but we
계속
will keep
응원해
working
주시면은
in
더
order
발전하는
to come
모습
back
보여드릴
stronger.
수
So
있게
please keep
하겠습니다.
supporting us. Thank you
감사합니다.
so much.
네, 여러분 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. 미하일 선수였습니다. 이어서 실비 선수 만나보도록 하겠습니다.
Now moving on
실비
to
선수,
Sylvie, the
오늘
jungler
정규
of
시즌 마지막
Nongshim
경기
Red
승리를
Force.
거두셨습니다.
That
마지막
was
경기이기
the last
때문에
match
좀더
of the
여유로운
regular
모습을
season.
보여줄
You
수 있지
seemed
않았나
a bit
싶은
more
생각이
relaxed in
드는데요.
the final
어떤
game.
마음가짐으로 임하셨는지
How did you
들어보고
approach it?
싶습니다.
사실 여유롭진 않고 살짝
In fact,
긴장이
we were
오늘따라
not
더 많이 있는데
relaxed. I was
첫
more
경기
of being
끝나고
nervous, to be honest,
되게
because it
긴장도
was
많이
the last
풀리고
one.
해서
But after the
더
first game,
침착하고
I became finally
그렇게 해서
relaxed.
잘
So
이길 수 있었던 것
I
같습니다.
think that
오늘
kind of
정말 좋은
enabled
모습
me to win the
보여주셨는데
match today.
이번 서머 좀 돌아보면 어떠셨는지 말씀 부탁드립니다.
How do you feel
어,
looking back on this summer?
물론 그 플레이오프는 가지 못했지만
Although we
그래도
didn't make it to the
강팀도
playoffs,
여러
we
한두
managed
번씩
to
잡아보면서
take
되게
down the
좋은
top dogs
경험이
of the
되었다
LCK a couple
생각해서
of times, which
다음
is a great
시즌에 더
experience for
열심히
us.
해서
I think
플레이오프 갈수 있도록 더
based on
열심히 해야
this
될 것 같습니다.
experience, we will be able to do even
긴장이시잖아요.
harder
함께해준
next season
팀원들에게도
and
마지막
even
이런 말씀
hopefully make it to the
어,
playoffs.
이번 시즌 되게
As a
힘든
team's
일도
captain,
많았고
anything
되게
you want to say
재밌는
to your
좋은 일도
teammates?
많았는데
We had a lot of rough times
이런
together. Also, we had so
기억들을
much
그대로
fun
가지고 와서
together
다음
as
시즌에
well.
열심히
So
준비했으면
let's keep all of this
좋겠습니다.
precious
네,
memory
응원하도록 하겠습니다.
in our
여러분, 큰
heart
박수
and move
부탁드립니다.
forward as
실비
a team.
선수였습니다. 이어서 피셔 선수 만나보겠습니다.
Next
피셔
up is
선수,
Fisher.
정말 기분 좋은 승리 오늘 가지고
Congratulations
가셨는데요.
on your
소감
win
어떠신지
today. How do you
부탁드립니다.
feel?
일단 마지막 경기인데 이렇게
So
깔끔하게
that was
2대0으로
the very
승리해서
last match of the
되게
season,
기쁘고
and I'm happy that we
기분 좋게
managed to get a
마무리한 것
2-0 on a day like
같아서
this.
네, 좋습니다.
I'm happy that we were able to end the season on a really good note.
좀 여쭤봅니다. 나피리가 오늘 등장했습니다.
I have to ask
어느 정도
about your
준비한
Nafiri.
필인지 좀 들어보고 싶습니다.
So how much have you
일단
practiced on this?
나피리는 제가
Well, it's actually
전부터
been
르블랑 상대로 조금
a champion that I've
준비를
always
해왔던
practiced as a counter
되게
into
라인전도
LeBlanc.
할 만하고
Laning phase
한타에서도
is
파괴력이
decent,
생각보다
and also
강하서
he's pretty powerful and
그걸
destructive in
약간
team
이제
fights.
빌미로
So
오늘
based
드디어
on those
꺼내기
aspects, I was
됐습니다.
able to
그래서
kind of
완전히
unleash
TPO까지
that today,
받으셨는데
finally.
오늘 솔로 랭크에서 나피리 플레이하실 소환
So any
사람들에게
tips
한마디
for all
부탁드립니다.
the summoners out there who's gonna try that in solo queue as
진짜
well?
생각보다 까다로워가지고
This champion is very tricky,
부탁되고
so
꺼내면 이제
do not just lock it in
천사를
just after
수도
watching the
있는데
LCK match. You know, it
그,
can lead to a
일단
very, very bad
나피리를 안
result.
하시는 걸 추천드리겠습니다.
Don't play this on solo queue. Actually, I don't recommend.
말씀까지 해주셨는데 마지막 경기였기 때문에 좀 아쉬움도 남으실 것
Since
같습니다.
this is the very
내년을 향한
end
각오의
of
말씀
the
부탁드리겠습니다.
year, so what would you like to say about your resolution heading into next year?
팀 상대로도 좀 업셋도 하고
I believe we were able to make some
괜찮은 모습을
upsets
보여드린 것
at the end of the
같은데
season, you know. I think we
초반기에도
were able to put up a
이런
good
모습
fight.
보여드리면서
Hopefully
기죽지
next year we
않고,
can do well from the beginning.
기세등등하게 경기,
Also
좋은 경기력
remain
보여드리겠습니다.
confident
기대해
and
보겠습니다. 여러분,
display
큰
the
박수
best performance
부탁드립니다.
we've got.
이어서 칼릭스 선수 만나보도록
Next up is
하겠습니다.
Calix.
칼릭스 선수 이번 서머 칼릭스 선수는 어떤 시즌이었나요?
Looking back on the entire
제가 이번
season,
시즌
how was it?
1라운드 중반부터 합류해서
I joined
지금까지 하게
Nongshim's
되었는데
lineup
되게 배울
mid-summer
점도
season.
많고 또 좋은
Maybe
경험이
in the middle of the
된 것
first round robin,
되게
I was able to
깊은
learn so
시간이었던 것
much.
같습니다.
It meant a
네.
lot to me.
앞으로 어떤 목표를 갖고 달려나가실 예정이신지
I want to know your
목표
goals
말씀
and
부탁드립니다.
resolution as you move forward now.
제 프로게이머의 마지막 목표는 롤드컵 우승이
My end goal as a professional player is, of course, winning worlds.
내년 목표는
But my goal for next year is qualifying for
네,
LCK
목표하시기를
playoffs.
응원하도록 하겠습니다. 여러분 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. 칼릭스 선수였습니다.
And that was Calix. Please give it up
이어서
for
지우 선수 만나보겠습니다.
the
네,
mid
지우
laner
선수
of
연패를 끊어내고
Nongshim Red
마지막
Force,
경기
and let's
승리로
move on to
장식하셨는데요.
Jiwoo,
소감
the
들어보고
AD
싶습니다.
carry.
우선 오늘
How was
마지막
the
경기라고
last
이기고
match of the
싶었는데
season?
마지막 경기
Because it was the
이겨가지고
final match, I
너무
really
좋았고
wanted to get a win.
우리
So I'm happy that we made it.
좀 많이 잘해줘가지고
And
고마운 것
I am
같습니다.
very proud and happy of my team because we have become so much stronger.
저력을 많이 보여주셨습니다. 이번 시즌에
exactly. I think Nongshim showed great potential by upsetting some of the top teams. Is there a match that stands out as the most memorable one for you? Of course, the T1 series where we were able to pull off an upset. I think that's like the favorite moment of myself. Then what are your resolutions as you prepare for 2025? I really appreciate all the support, even throughout the losses. Hopefully next year we can do better and come back stronger. One more time, please give it up for Jiwoo, and let's hear from Vital, the support of Nongshim. So you were brought in the very end of the summer season, and you also had a role swap as well. How do you look back at it? Yeah, I joined Nongshim LCK lineup, so at first I was kind of flustered, you know. But still, LCK is a huge opportunity, and I was able to get the chance. So I really wanted to prove why I was called up for the LCK stage. Then, what do you kind of aim to show as a professional player in the future? I think this season I was able to learn so much and get a lot of takeaways. So based on those experiences, I want to prepare for the upcoming season and come back stronger. And that was Vital. Please give it up for him one more time. And lastly, before we go, Sylvie asked the captain, anything you want to say to the fans as well? I mean, I know supporting a team is not easy, but you guys were always out there starting from spring to the summer season, so thank you so much for all of your love and support. Thank you. One more time, congratulations on the win today, and Nongshim Red Force, thank you for your hard work throughout the year. And now let's move on to the next interview that will be joined by OK Savings Bank Brion players who, despite today's unfortunate loss, gave their best until the very end. The players will join the interview shortly. Please welcome Morgan, Youngjae, Fate, Semver, Envy, and Polu for the post-match interview and season-ending interview. Please give them a warm round of applause. Thank you so much for joining us. First up, Morgan. So this marks the end of the regular season. You also pulled out a Camille after a long time. How did you approach this match today? Because this is the last match of the season, I really wanted to get a win, but it's a bummer that I could not. And Camille does have a very, characteristic. Camille sometimes can hit a power spike and pop off in game. I think I was able to reach that moment, but could not exert a lot of pressure. So too bad that it didn't really connect to a good outcome. And this year, I think there were a lot of moments where we were showing our weaknesses and some of the bad gameplays throughout the year. So I really wish you can work on those aspects and come back stronger for the next season. Now, Youngjae, although the final match ended with a loss, how do you feel about the summer season overall? I really wanted to, show something else this year, but too bad that I was unable to get the result we all wanted. However, we always had the believers supporting you throughout the year, so anything you want to say to them? I'm always feeling very sorry for all of our fans because we could not play up to their expectation and, their support. So I really wish next time we can display the best performance we can. And let's hear from Fate. You have joined Bro in the second round of the summer season. How do you look back at the entire experience? I can say it was relatively short.
편할 줄 알았는데
So I thought it could
생각했던
go
거랑 좀
maybe better,
힘들었던 것 같고
but it was
좀더
actually
많이
really,
이기고
really
싶었던
difficult, you
처음에
know.
목표가 있었는데
I really wanted to pick
또
up more
이루지 못한
wins,
것 같아서 좀 아쉬운
and
것
I could
같습니다.
not meet my goals, so it's a big bummer.
저희가 기대를 많이 하고 있는데요. 내년에 어떤
But we are
모습
also
보여주고
very
싶으신지
excited
각오
to
한
see
말씀
what you will bring in the
부탁드리겠습니다.
future. What are your resolutions for
내년에는
next year?
일단 좀 오래 경기하고 싶은 마음이 커서
I wish I can
좋은 성적으로
play on stage
플레이오프나
longer.
다른 경기들도
Probably,
참가할
you
수
know, make it to
있도록
the playoffs
열심히
and
해서
qualify for
준비하겠습니다.
many bigger
응원하겠습니다.
stages.
큰 박수 부탁드립니다. 페이트 선수였습니다. 이어서 샘버 선수 만나보도록 하겠습니다.
Now let's hear from
이번
Samber.
NB 선수와 함께 브리온의 바텀을
So you and
지켜주셨는데요.
NB were
정규
protecting
시즌
the
돌아보면
Bros
어떠신
bottom lane
느낌인지
this summer. How do you feel looking back at the regular
일단은 좀
season?
열심히 준비한다고 열심히
I
준비했는데
try my best
결과가 좀
to,
제대로
you
안 나와서
know,
그런 부분이 좀 아쉽고
give it my all, but I don't think the
배운 게좀
results are
많았던
showing. But
시즌인 것
still, I think we were able to learn a lot.
앞으로 더 발전하실 텐데 다음 시즌에는 어떤 모습 보여주고 싶으신지 각오 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
What kind of performance do you want to show in the future?
부분 잘 보완해서 좋은 모습
I want to
보여드리겠습니다.
improve all of my
기대하겠습니다. 샘버
weaknesses
선수에게 큰
and
박수
come back
부탁드립니다.
stronger, hopefully.
이어서 NB 선수 만나보도록 하겠습니다.
Next up
저 NB
is
선수 이번
NB.
서머 첫 승을 견인했던 선수인데요.
You
돌아보면 어떤 점이
led
가장
the
기억에
team to its
남으시는지
first
들어보고
victory of the
싶습니다.
summer season. Looking back, what
사실
stands out
1년
the most for
동안
you?
결과가 너무 안 좋아서
This year,
팬분들한테도 너무 죄송하고
the general outcome or the
하지만
result is very disappointing. You know, I'm very
이제
sorry
안
to
좋은
all my fans,
결과로
but
인해서 부족한 점도 많이 배워간 것
also,
같고 좀
because
자신을
we
좀
are
돌아보는
continuing and
계기가 된것
repeating some of the
같아서
failures,
이
we
기억들
also
토대로
learned about
내년에
our
좀 더
weaknesses. So
마인드
based on
좋게
this
멘탈도
lessons
좀 잘 추스려서
and, you know,
내년에 좀 좋은
takeaways,
결과 있게
hopefully next year
열심히
we
해서
can
오겠습니다.
come back stronger and
감사합니다.
also with a
내년에
stronger
좋은 결과를
mentality as
약속해
well.
주셨는데 기다려주실 팬분들을 위해서도 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
Then anything you want to say to all the
뭔가
believers?
항상 좋은 모습 보여드리고 싶어서
I mean, we always want to
보여드리고
show you guys the
싶었는데
best we've got.
결과가 진짜
We
계속
all worked so
아쉬워서
hard for it,
팬분들한테도
but
죄송하고
we couldn't really pull it off on stage.
뭔가 이제 1년 동안
So
너무
I feel so
안 좋은
sorry
모습
about
보여드려서
that, you know,
죄송한데
because the entire
그래도
year we were
믿고
pretty much
응원해
underperforming, but
좀 더
if you
단단해진
could
모습으로
continue supporting us,
돌아올
we
수
will come
있도록
back with solid
노력하겠습니다.
performance and stronger
응원하겠습니다. 여러분 큰
form.
박수 부탁드립니다. NB 선수였습니다. 마지막으로 폴로 선수
And last
만나보도록
but not
하겠습니다.
least,
폴로
Polu.
선수 스프링 때 콜업돼서 시즌을
You were
모두
called up
마치셨습니다.
during the
소감이
spring season
어떠신가요?
and completed your first full season this summer. How do you feel about it? Yeah, I got called up in spring and spent the entire season on the main roster this summer season, but I think I left a lot to be desired.
앞으로는 어떤 목표와 각오를 갖고 나아가실
But, you
예정이신지
know,
한 말씀
You've
부탁드립니다.
shown a lot of promising performance with your rookie spirit. What are your goals heading into next year? I hope I can come back stronger and win more
폴로
matches and,
선수에게도 따뜻한
you know,
박수
get to meet
부탁드립니다.
our fans more often.
마지막으로 팬분들께서 모건 선수
And
오늘
before
브리온과
we
함께
go,
행복했던 서머였다
Morgan,
이런 치어풀을 들고 와주시기도 하셨습니다.
anything you would like to say to all the Bro fans, the Believers out there who has been supporting you throughout the year with so much energy? I know this year our run was not easy, you know, but you guys were always there sharing this hard time together, and because of your love and support, we were able to always cheer up and, you know, keep moving forward. Thank you so much for your support, and I really appreciate it. One more time, let's give a big round of applause to the OK Savings Bank Bro players, and this will be the end of the post-match interview, and back to the space. Thank you.